मैंने लिख रखा था, मैंने
with over
मैंने लिख रखा है, बट मैं जस्ट कंफर्म कर रहा था कि कहीं भाई आप लोग एक्सपर्ट हो तो
शुरू करें सर? शुरू करें सर?
हाँ जी सर।
Good afternoon, everyone. I, C.A. Raj Chawla, welcome you all in this today webinar on role of Indian GCC in global accounting. And we are very honored to have with us C.A. Hrithvik Rajji, partner in TrueLedger Consulting, and C.A. Manish Aggarwal ji, partner in TrueLedger Consulting. Also, we have with us C.A. Vineet Jain ji. He will moderate the today's session. And today, our main topics and coverage will be to understand GCC framework and their business environment, how GCC are leading the global accounting profession, and typical accounting functions performed in GCC, and technology development in finance and accounting impacting GCC. So first, our speaker, C.A. Hrithvik Rajji, is a fellow chartered accountant with 13 years of post-qualification experience, a certificate holder in forensic accounting and fraud detection from ICI. He is certified in QuickBook Accounting from Institute of Udemy. He is a partner in TrueLedger Consulting, a global outsourcing company engaged in providing bookkeeping and taxation services worldwide as per generally accepted accounting principles. He has rich experience in domestic practice of rich market, providing risk-based insurance and auditing services of listed and unlisted companies, and wide spectrum of financial functions, including compliances, reporting, and accounting advisory, formulated standard processes, and risk control for internal control and financial reporting. He has worked in assurance services like with EY for over 4 years, performing statutory financial tax audit, statutory audit, limited review of listed and unlisted clients based on Ind AS generally accepted accounting principles, and group reporting of French company based on reporting. He has vast experience. So I welcome C.A. Hrithvik Rajji.
Thank you, sir.
Our second speaker, C.A. Manish Aggarwal ji, a very learned chartered accountant, expert in this outsourcing profession and international taxation. C.A. Manish Aggarwal ji is a seasoned international tax and accounting professional with expertise in cross-border tax planning, expertise, taxation, and global mobility compliances. He is a 2012 qualified chartered accountant with All India rank 14 and CA final level All India rank 12th at CA IPCC level. In addition to CA, he is a law graduate and commerce graduate BCom honors from Delhi University. He is also pursuing US CPA exam and plan to complete the same by end of this year. Our best wishes are with you, Manish bhai.
Thank you, sir.
He has also successfully completed the certificate course of outsourcing, certificate course of AI level 1, certificate course of forensic, which gives him practical insight on how to get clients in US market. So today he will guide us that how we can procure the work from US also. So he has rich experience of more than 13 years and has worked with some of the large Indian conglomerates like ITC, Vedanta Group, and also worked in Big Four tax consulting practice, wherein he specialized in international tax and cross-border activity. So I welcome C.A. Manish bhai. So I also welcome our moderator, C.A. Vineet Jain ji. He is a co-founder and a managing partner of the firm. He is commerce graduate from University of Delhi and a fellow member of the Institute of Chartered Accountant of India 2011 batch. He also holds a certificate in Business Responsibility and Sustainability Reporting, BSRS, from ICI. He is currently pursuing the diploma in DISA and certified internal auditor. He has over 14 years of experience with a multinational manufacturing company in internal audit, NBFC compliance, budgeting and forensic, financial consulting, Indian accounting standard, foreign operations. His area of expertise are advisory on GST, internal audit, forensic audit, environmental, social, and ECG. So I welcome Vineet ji to this platform. And now I request CA Vineet Jain ji to please take forward this our today webinar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such a warm welcome. And I like to welcome Hrithvik ji and Manish Aggarwal ji for today's session. As you all know, today's session is going to be a very emerging topic, very emerging point, GCC. How many of you? First of all, Raj Chawla sir, may I request all of the participants to open their cameras and let's be interactive this session. If everyone is comfortable, so please open up your camera and let's make this session interactive. Okay. Acha. How many of you can suggest or give me the numbers? How many GCCs are currently working in India? Number of GCCs in India. Can you guess anyone? कोई भी guess कर सकता हो कि कितने GCCs में अभी active हैं, operation में हैं?
900, sir. I think 900.
900, one figure. और कोई?
Around 1800 to 1900.
Second, यश जी ने बोला कि 1800 to 1900. और कोई? Sir, around 1700 GCCs are currently operational in India. जो फिगर है 6500 बिलियन का, 6500 बिलियन डॉलर्स की फिगर है जो रिवेन्यू जनरेट होता है फ्रॉम इंडिया से, और 1700 GCCs are currently registered. And how important this topic is, on which this Hrithvik ji and the Manish bhai is going to throw light. What is the GCC का framework, कैसे होता है GCC, कैसे ग्लोब पे लीडिंग कर रही है, उसकी टेक्नोलॉजीज पीछे क्या होती है. So we like to welcome Hrithvik ji and the Manish bhai to throw light and make us understand in a detail how this GCC works in India and how we can proceed to open up or help or connect with the GCC. Over to you, Hrithvik ji and Manish bhai.
Yeah. First of all, thank you, C. Raj Chawla sir, for giving us an opportunity to deliver on this topic, the role of Indian GCCs in the global economy and accounting functions. And I appreciate the support of CA Vineet Jain for helping us in moderating this session. And now we'll take this forward, and I would request you, to all the participants to stay till the last, because a lot of technology we'll be discussing about where money should be helping, about what is the current scenario and how the automation AI is going to help us in this finance and accounting functions. So I would request you to stay connected, everyone, till the end of the session. So let's begin this session. Okay, Manish, are you sharing, or should I share?
Okay. I guess better you can share.
Yeah, I can share. Okay. Fine.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Is the screen visible to everyone?
Yes, Hrithvik. Yes.
Yeah.
You can
Yes,
present in F5
Yeah.
slideshow mode. Yeah. Yes.
So this is the agenda what we are going to discuss here. First is the understanding global capability center framework and their business environment. And second would be how global capability centers are leading the global accounting profession. Third is the typical accounting functions performed in GCC. And fourth is the very interesting session is about the technology developments impacting GCC in finance and accounting. So let's get to the first part of the session, is understanding the GCC framework and the business environment. So I'll tell you, GCC was in existence much before what we are discussing now recently. What is GCC? So the idea is key. You must have heard about the telecaller. Then it came BPO. Then it came KPO. Then GDS, Global Shared Services. And now what we hear about is Global Capability Centers, GCC. Okay. So what happens whenever the services changes, the nomenclature changes. So similarly, what is happening right now? Now, what is earlier, there was your technology outsourcing. A lot of IT companies were there who were, they're having the back office in India and developing the research and development in the technology. So now what is happening now? There is a change in the system. What is the finance which we are outsourcing right now? We have AR, AP processes. We sit here in India and do the global accounting and everything. A lot of services we provide here. So now the technology has said since there has been an augmentation in the services. So the nomenclature has also changed and now we call it as global capability centers. So you must have got a fair idea now what is GCC. And every big four you see, they have a GCC center here in India. So approximately right now there are 1600 GCCs in India and the number is increasing. So it is going to surpass approximately 2200 or more than that by 2030. And this is it contributes at least 5% of our GDP. So they provide the back-office services to the multinational companies here in India. So, and one more thing I want to discuss how this, GCC has come to India. There was a company, Texas Instrument. In 1985, they started outsourcing the backend. They set up a backend office in India, and then they realized that it is not only cost saving, but also there has been advancement in the technology. We have a lot number of graduates here in India. Approximately more than 20 lakhs their graduates in India every year. So, and we have high quality of resources. Because of that, led to the innovation of having GCC in India. Afterwards, IBM, then Google offices, everyone started having a back office in India. They are doing research, R&D offices, R&D things in India. So over the years, there has been an enhancement in the technology which led to the creation of global capability centers. So that's the reasons, why we have GC, because it enhances efficiency. There's a cost reduction. We have a cheap labor resources we have compared to the West, as the West has, there's an increase in the labor cost there and India provides a cheap labor. So that's why there's, because of the cost factor, also a lot of GCCs, they have enabled their backend offices and support some functions here in India. The next is the technology. We know we have a lot of number of engineers and chartered accountants in here in India. That's a leveraging factor, because of that, it has escalated the global capability centers in India. We have a good education system here. That's why we see the number of graduates. 20 lakhs their graduates, they become graduates every year. And we have good resources here. This is another reason that we have the GCCs in India. So this I discussed with you the emergence of GCC, how GCC came in India. First, it was like a telecaller services. Then over the years, there has been evolution of functions like BPO, KPO, and such things. And now from the latest history, from the support functions, we have converted into a strategic partners. Why I'm saying this strategic partners, because now accounting is not just restricted to just debit and credit. You get a lot of more insights from the accounting which you maintain. You have dashboards that provide you KPIs for every industries. Then you get a proper know about the revenue, like every cash flow statements, everything you get on ready to hand. You do the accounting and straight away simultaneously records are generated. Because of this, so we say it's now this is strategic partners. Then India has a very flexible time zone, a very suitable time zone here in India. Like if you want to start your Canada outsourcing work, you can start in the evening. There would be an overlapping time of 3 to 4 hours. Like it starts from 7 p.m. IST. So which you can provide a flexible of overlapping time 2-3 hours, and then you can do the rest of the work in the next day. And again with the Australia process starts early in the morning, starts approx 6 o'clock in the morning. So again, there you have an overlapping time of 3 to 4 hours, and then you can jump your work to the next day. So we see this as a geographical location is also helping us in this enabling GCs in India. And the government policies as well, like we have Gift City, SCZ, state specific GCCs we have in Bangalore, Gujarat. These are helping us. The change in the policies as well are helping us to setting up GCCs in India, and the number is rapidly increasing. Next is the business environment and operational models of GCC. How does the GCC operate? One of the ways, which is prevalent here in our economy is like the cost sharing model. Cost sharing model is something, whatever the cost is incurred, that is borne by the any foreign entity in India or foreign entity outside the India. Okay. And that attracts the transfer pricing as well. But apart from that, over the years, yeah, Manish, please, you want to speak something?
Oh, so yeah. So cost sharing is people would know from a transfer pricing or tax background, call it as a cost plus model. That's the operating model that we used to follow, wherein all the costs that are being incurred by the GCC for their employees, which is the main cost, and the rental and the infrastructure cost, it is being reimbursed by the foreign entity to the Indian GCC by applying a certain markup on the cost plus, and that markup is defined by the transfer pricing policy. So that's cost sharing or a cost plus model that is typically being followed for the GCC in India from a revenue modeling perspective. Yeah, Hrithvik, please continue further.
Yeah. And as the economy changes now, what we have other operations as well. Like we have DIY model, which is called it do it yourself model. You do funding, you make your own company, all the equity you have, everything you start from scratch. This is DIY model. And this is another is build, operate, transfer model, where there is another third party person, who takes over everything, who builds the company, and later on, that he surpasses the equity to you. That is transfer is done. So likewise, we have here a lot of companies, third party we have, who set up GCCs in India.
Yeah.
It also
You want
allows
to name a
FD.
few?
Yeah.
You want to name a few, Hrithvik? There are like few very specialized companies whose business model is nowadays to help the MNEs to set up their GCCs in India. Like I would name a company like ANSR Global. It is a company which specializes in providing GCC as a service, wherein if any foreign MNC want to set up their GCC in India, this is a large company which helps them to set up their GCC in a turnkey project manner, like from identifying the location where they should set up the process, the kind of process they should bring into the GCC, the kind of talent mix they should bring into, and even they go beyond like how the office should look alike, like the Indian office should look alike the overall US or overall European office, so that to give a overall cultural blend and the feel to the employees and to the overall center in India. So that is how the detailing and the depth of the services are being provided by the GCC service provider. It's under the boot model or under the DIY model. So the name of the company is ANSR Global, and there is another Indian company called Zinov, ZINNOV. You can read their reports, and as well as on NASSCOM, you will find tons of reports how the GCC environment, and plus lot of big fours. As we say, while we are trying to promote our own Indian big fours, but it is good to know the best practices, what's already there in the market from Indian big fours and the already established players. Yes.
Yeah,
Please.
thanks, Manish. It was a valuable insight provided you giving some examples. Then GCC model is a very dynamic business model. There has been rapid changes in technology that led to innovations, new products, new processes. Now all the GCs are thinking what more services we can provide in finance, accounts, and what can be the more innovative products like automation, AIs. So it's a very dynamic business environment. You have to keep on adding your services, to just to adapt to this environment and scale up your business. The second topic is we are coming is like how global capability centers they're leading the global accounting professions. again, the same specialized skills we have. India is a English speaking country. It ranks second in the English speaking country. We have a large number of STEM graduates here. And all the banks, all the multinational companies, banks, they have a back end office here in India. They have a center of excellence here in India that adds to specialized skills in India. We have graduates, we have engineers, we have chartered accountants, we have approximately 5 lakh chartered accountants. So imagine the amount of workflow that would be if we have the GCCs, more and more GCCs in India. Cost efficiency, as earlier discussed with you, where India offers a very cost efficiency other compared to the countries in the West. So that wise, the cost can be optimized and provide high quality services. Infrastructure development, scalability. It's a scalable business that allows organizations to seamlessly in response to market demand. You can expand your business however you much like. If you have more and more services, you can have more and more offices in India, more and more resources, you can get quality resources here and scale up your business. Navigating complex market. You see, here in the Europe, there are a lot of countries there where they are not English speaking. So that can be, we can leverage that by, by having a person in India who can understand like any languages which we are not knowing here in the Europe. So he can act as a bridge and help us in on getting the outsourcing work from those countries in Europe. So in that case, the language will not be a barrier. It will help us in securing the task, securing the outsourcing work from the other countries. Then we have key contributions. That is high quality financial services. Earlier, what we used to do, we used to just do accounting, debit and credit. Now we have high quality reports, we can generate it. We can do the US regulations filing, which are 10K, 10Q, Basel reporting, which has been, that is a global reporting norms for banks. So we can do FP&A services, we can do the processing, AR processing, AP processing, consolidation, lot of services we can do here, sitting here in India. We can do the compliance work as well. Like we can do the income tax filing, HST filing, all those compliances that can be done here in India. So this is help organizations avoid legal issues and penalties. Enhancing reporting accuracy. GCCs bring, skilled resources and the best practices in the world, that it provides a reporting, the accuracy of the reporting, what we report here. Due to the factors, we have the high quality resources, we have abundance of technology here in India. This leads to the accuracy in reporting. Now, what are the advancement in GCC accounting? That is the impact of AI in accounting. Nowadays, it's the cult of AI. We have a lot of AI here in India. We have Dext here. We have presentation AI. We have Gamma. We have everything to make the presentation. We have Chat GPT. So that is helping us, and that is technology. Is not replacing us, but the technology is controlled by us, and it will not be able to replace the chartered accountants. It will be a driving force, and that will lead to evolutions of other accounting, finance functions as well. So, yeah, Manish.
No. So I was just saying, like, on the automation of process, now India is not just using the global technologies, but in fact, we are the innovation, I would say, playground for many of the technologies that are coming from India. Like a lot of, for example, automation during COVID times or after COVID time, RPA technology, many would have heard the name, but I would say robotic process automation. Many popular tools like UiPath, Automation Anywhere, they help us to automate small mundane tasks, AP, AR, which we'll see in more detail in the coming part. So I think the technology is coming up fast, and GCCs are the front runner in adopting these technologies, not only just adopting and using, but also deploying it at a very large scale and making the commercial use cases. So we see in the financial reporting part, Indian GCCs are adopting the global best practices from financial reporting tools to like black line reconciliation tool for closing of the financial. So all this I've saying that GCCs in India are adopting the technologies at a very fast scale.
Yeah, thanks, Manish. We have machine learning benefits here. Now everybody is using ChatGPT, and I think none over here they will not be aware of any ChatGPT. Most of us know what is ChatGPT. It is life making us life easy. Anything what we want to do, make a content here, we want to make a presentation here, you want to get some value additions, know more something, then there is a ChatGPT. Likewise, apart from ChatGPT, we have another AI API which Manish has earlier told me. So that is all helping us, in enhancing in technological advancement in GCC accounting. Automation of processes, AR process, AP process, consolidation, like all are getting automated. Within fraction of a second, the reports are generated. Even, I've seen some people are generating the financials, the balance sheet, from the trial balance in just 2 to 3 minutes. It just takes seconds.
Yeah.
So there are those companies. Yeah, Manish.
No, yeah, please.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
that's what I'm saying. So the processor getting automated. So and we have to go with the pace with the technology is going. So we have to automate ourselves, equip ourselves. We have to skill ourselves. And this help by doing this, it will reduce our time. It will increase the efficiency. That's what. So we must go with the technology and keep on researching. Like there are a lot of tools in the market which can help us. You know, which things what suits best as per our requirement. Now next we come to the typical accounting functions performed in GCC. This is just a summary of what we have seen, how the finance is getting automated, the accounting functions are performed. Now, like in just to say record to report, that is the financial reporting purpose. Okay. So here, general accounting, intercompany accounting allocations, fixed asset, you can do fixed assets accounting, like preparation of the fixed asset registers. You can get outsourcing for the fixed assets accounting. It's very easy to get it. Just you have to get the details of the fixed assets, and then you can start preparing the fixed asset accounting. Accruals, again the accounts payable process thing. You can start booking the accruals as well. Reconciliation, like there can be data reconciliation, vendor reconciliation, bank reconciliation, anything. So these are, with the help of automation and tools, you can prepare those reports. End closing, period end closing, which Manish will also discuss, how and with some other live tools and demo, how the period end closing is the time gets reduced. Expense management, you can do payroll accounting. Like there's a lot of softwares in the market. You have like vendor EDP and then many other. So you can think about it, how to automate yourself and do the payroll accounting, revenue accounting. If we come around reporting purpose, we see financial reporting, gap adjustment, regulatory compliances, that is 10K, 10Q, which is done in the US. Management reporting. The management reporting can be any type of things, like the management wants any report on want to see any dashboard of what is the P&L of the month or week, yearly management reporting. Performance KPI, like in the coming, for example, in the hotel industry, we see the KPIs can be ARR, that is average rent revenue, then occupancy ratios. So those are the KPIs. All this can be done within a dashboard if you have a proper online accounting softwares. Then order to cash. Order to cash is like when you start selling your goods and when you receive the cash. That's the process called order to cash, O2C. So you can prepare a customer master data. It's just about the details of the masters, detail of the customers you have. In that you can have your the credentials. You can
Yeah.
have its credentials. Yeah. The details of the customers. You can bank account.
It-
Those are all things. Customer master
yeah,
data.
it's done through a software called CRM software generally, O2C process. Because Salesforce is and Zoho CRM are the good examples to manage your order to cash. So Salesforce is used by the large enterprises and Zoho for medium-sized enterprise. So what Hrithvik is explaining is Zoho CRM or Salesforce CRM kind of a software to manage your O2C process. I hope
Right.
my voice is better.
Yeah,
Hrithvik, if
Manish,
you
it's
can,
better. Yeah, it's audible.
yeah, you can increase. Maybe there is some comment on the Q&A that
Yeah,
voice is
sure,
low.
sure.
Yeah.
Then coming to order to cash, you have order fulfillment, customer invoicing. Just giving an example in the TrueLedger, what we are doing right now. Okay, we are outsourcing the air process as well, where our resources they are performing this O2 to OTC function, customer invoicing, those things. Collection and cash applications, AR forecasting, credit risk management, bad debt calculations. Like lot of functions are there in the O2C which you can perform sitting just in India, having a GCC center or backend office, anything. Procure to pay, which is P2P. This process starts, when you have the vendors and you have to make the payments to the vendor, record the payment, okay, check the credibility of the vendors, and it ends with the making of payment. So this is PPT. You can again like the AR, similar to AR, you can prepare the vendor master data, booking of accounts payable from accounts payables, recording of the vendors, the purchasing, procurement, making the payment, and about the forecasting. Yeah, Manish, we have slides of tax compliance as well here.
Yeah. So just I want to add quickly what Hrithvik has mentioned. So this heat map or something, it refers to overall entire gamut of finance process that you can think of in any large size MNC that they would like to have in India. So this represents a variety of functions. Not necessarily all functions may be placed to a GCC in India, but these are the typical functions we see are passed on to the Indian GCC, and like record to report, O2C, procure to pay. And similarly in tax, we could have like, I'll tell you from a tax point of view, tax is a bit different from the other because like financial reporting, it's almost similar in most of the parts of the world. Is like either a US GAAP or you follow a IFRS, and in most likely. But for a tax, the regulations vary very differently. Like an Indian income tax law, the principles would be quite different when you move to a country like UAE, Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia. So in tax, what we have in my experience when I was part of a global GCC, what we have seen is that we create a regional centers. Like for example, in India, what would be my nearest geography which I can coordinate is like APAC and Middle East are the ones which are typically part of the Indian GCC. Like from India, I can handle due to my time zone proximity, like UAE, Hong Kong, Singapore, China, Middle East function, as well as Australia, as Hrithvik mentioned due to. Like similarly, some GCCs prefer to have a European tax center of excellence or tax backend for managing the Europe tax function, because India and APAC tax legislation would vary significantly versus what is happening in the Europe, because Europe would have a EU kind of a system. They have a borderless tax system. And similarly for a US, it is like a federal and a state system. So the approaches vary across the organization. Some organization prefer to have a centralized center of excellence for all the tax function. And within that, they would have an expert specializing in each domain, like one expert of US, one expert of European taxation, one expert of Middle East and India and other market. So it depends on the approach, and typical types of function that we see being performed by GCCs in India are like, obviously tax compliance is the one. Then from a financial reporting point of view, you need tax provisioning and tax forecasting, which is called as tax accounting function. So that is being also done. Then also intercompany, which is generally interlinked with tax, because intercompany, the majority role is of the transfer pricing. So intercompany accounting, transfer pricing, tax and TP documentation, sometimes like local file preparation, transfer pricing, filing preparation, that's also there. Then the other important function is managing the tax controversies or disputes or tax risk management. So this is about the tax function I have seen in my expertise, and I'll let Hrithvik to continue for the other processes.
Then in this finance, you can get some other work in the treasury sections as well, like bank reconciliations. You can do the accounting for the banks here in sitting here in India, and you can also get the confirmation, check the confirmations, and inform the onshore party, whoever it is, like the bank you have whatever the functions you have performed in the bank. If there is any differences that you can highlight as well to the onshore. Then you have operational liquidity, finance risk and hedging functions. Then you have cash flow forecasting, balance sheet optimization, like how you can manage the balance sheet, how you can make it more effective. What are the key KPIs that you can display in the balance sheet? What are the red flags here? Then you can do the equity and debt management, investor relations, like the reports which the investor wants, dividend distribution, analyst relations, regulatory relations, anything which the shareholders want, that is the shareholder communications. Strategic planning, like you can have FP&A, financial planning and analysis function here in this GCC framework. You can business models, you can develop the business models as well, revenue models, financial strategy, corporate development things. Yeah, financial planning, and this I've already covered you, like budgeting, planning, reforecasting. Then we have finance process improvement, which includes finance function development, like you can develop a small ER functions, AP functions here, or treasury functions here. You can perform the virtual CFO functions, user support, change management. There are a lot of functions you can perform here related to the finance. Like previously, what we were restricted to just doing the accounting, but over the years, the technology has evolved and log record to report, OTC, AP, AR, like a lot of functions. You listed the n number of functions which you can perform in the GCC sector. Yeah, comprehensive financial statements. The GCC prepared a detailed financial statement that reflect the organization's financial health and performance, compliance with global standards. Ensuring compliance with global accounting standard is crucial for maintaining transparency and accountability in financial reporting. Insights for decision making. The data you have from the FP&A or the financial balance sheet that will help you to make a decision making. It will help you in providing some strategy in whatever you do, in whatever industry you have. You have those KPIs, you have that analysis tools in analyst that will help you in providing a decision making. Over the compliance manage, you can manage your compliance effectively here. You know whatever the regulatory, what the deadlines you have, and you can do the like HST filing, income tax filing, all those and you can do before the due deadline by managing your team, managing your resources, managing the deadlines. So these are the things covered. Fiscal responsibility. Organization must adhere to fiscal responsibilities across various jurisdictions to ensure compliance with local laws. Yes, that is a very crucial factor. Like if you're performing the income tax return for the US, you should know when is the deadline, and there you should have a complete knowledge about it as well for performing any deadline or any income tax filing you're doing it. Navigating tax laws. Navigating complex tax laws requires expertise to minimize risk associated with non-claims. One of the thing is you must be predict beforehand that non-compliances that should be at a zero acceptance level. So if you perform all the functions, on time, and with the proper resources you have efficiently, so there will be a minimum non-compliance. Maximizing compliance. you should have a tracker of what are the compliances to be performed. You just list it out there. These are the n number of compliance to be performed, and manage those compliances so that all the compliances what are to be done, that is done on time. In this way, the lot of the penalty that can be escaped, the cash outflow would be reduced. Then we have here a very important section, audit internal controls. Like most, not the main audit, but at least to some part of the audit you can perform in the GCC functions. Like the signing function, you cannot do it, but like you can assist in auditing. The backend support you can provide it. Like if you see here, all the big fours, they have a GCC center here in India. Even I was, once I was on secondment for a big four firm. I went there and even I did the auditing part as well there. And it's not so like mm, everything is like here that you have to uh, like compare to in the Indian scenario, we go to the client here and whatever the audit issues we discuss it. But here everything happens over the chain of emails, and sitting over here we can do perform that auditing function as well. Like it's not that difficult as well. You can provide the support functions. Even I have performed the preparation of the balance sheet as well from for a client as well. So all this on audit internal controls, you can prepare the SOPs here. That is a systematic SOP processes for revenue or maybe AP, cash or cash, anything, all the SOPs you can prepare. Then next is the emerging technology developments impacting GCC in finance accounting. So I'll hand over to Manish to present on this. Yeah, Manish.
Yeah, I'll present. Just I'll share my screen. I think it would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just
It's the same, but then that I would have better control that way. Okay, so we left it here at emerging technological
Yes.
development. So I think why we should be, everyone says that there is AI coming up, technology coming up. Why I do understand that everyone has this inherent kind of a fear or kind of uh, uh, suspicion that there is a technology revolution coming up and we would be obsolete. But what we believe is that if we are looking towards the future ahead and the future of work, I mean, technology is one thing which we need to work alongside by side. There is no doubt about it. See where we have moved it from last. I think when we last clear our chartered accountancy or when we are starting, you see the evaluation from the tax filing. I give you a classic example. We used to file the tax returns by paper filing. Okay. There were obviously a lot of frauds and refund claims, and but it's a manual process. Then income tax department start with a e-filing procedure. We started with the e-filing. Then today now it's the case that income tax is giving you the pre-filed or a pre-filled return. So see, even in our traditional practice, if you see, technology has given a lot, taken up a lot of work from our side, but still that doesn't mean that the chartered accountants are out of the workplace or they are not doing well or they are not able to find the work. So that's the situation. Similarly, like in litigation, you would see, we would have litigation in our previous days back in like we used to go to the income tax officer, sit in his office, give all the paper-based documents, go for the assessment. Now, slowly and slowly we are evaluated. Like from paper-based assessment, we move to a e-proceeding, wherein it's the still physical, but the documentation exchange was through a ITBA portal. If somebody would in the income tax portal would know. Then we move to the faceless assessment jurisdiction, which is what like there is no concept of assessing officer, jurisdictional officer. So in a way, we also adapted to that manner that we change our skill set from not just a document compiler in the traditional days, but we presented ourselves more of a tax litigator. wherein we can communicate ourselves well, we can articulate our thoughts well, we can organize ourselves well. So my messaging before starting this topic or giving this monologue is that technology has changed, and we, being a chartered accountants and a sound financial professionals, are able to navigate it well and still able to do well. And now with the GCCs and the AI revolution coming up, it is more of a, I think, another tool in our favor, which we can use to ride on this booming uh, uh, market and to capitalize on it. So with this, I'll say that now coming to the topic which we have is the how the GCCs are taking up the finance function in the for the global entities, multinationals. So this is a typical tech stack. It is called generally the all the tools that we have given is it called a technology stack or a tech stack as a short form. So this tech stack represents in whatever areas of the finance, like we showed in the heat map, P2P, R2R, O2C, treasury, employee
Manish ji, we
management.
are not able to hear you.
Can you hear me now? Sorry. Let me just.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, Manish, you're
Am I
audible.
audible now to
You're
everyone?
audible.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Can
Someone
we have
give the,
presentation mode? Presentation mode?
can someone give the thumbs up or
Yes.
heads up to?
You
Yeah,
are audible,
Manish,
yes.
Manish, switch on the presentation mode.
Sorry. Present. Am I not audible?
Yes, you are audible. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'll do a F5. Sorry, my bad. Just. Okay. So I think the screen is visible and my voice is audible.
Yeah, Manish,
Yeah.
please go ahead.
So what I'm saying is that we have seen in the heat map what all different processes a typical GCC of an MNC would have in India, like ranging from P2P to R2R, record to report, to order to cash. So we have different set of processes over there. But what we see is that how, so each function is being performed with the help of certain ERPs or some technology tools which are interlinked, because there are so many functions over there, and finance being the good part or the bad part about the finance is every transaction in any organization would have some impact on your financial reporting. So that's how each system within the financial, like your manufacturing system, if you're a manufacturing entity or if you're a service organization, each of your revenue function should ultimately speak with your ERP or the accounting platform. So this is a typical example that I've used from my previous organization wherein I worked in the GCC. They used to have the Oracle NetSuite as their financial reporting, which is called as their core finance system. And within that, we have different sets of functions that are linked with ERP or the like for procure to pay, which is called vendor payment, or a P2P process. We used to have a tool called Coupa. Coupa is a vendor management system that is automates your P2P process, onboards your vendor, creates purchase order, purchase requisition, user can approve the service request. So that's the Coupa system. Now, another important for a business is the how to manage its sales. So for sales, it is using a tool which is called Salesforce CRM. Salesforce CRM is the world's leading CRM platform wherein you can so a CRM is what? A CRM is a system wherein you manage your leads and your sales and your accounts. So lead means whenever, let's say, a lead is being captured from various sources like a website or multiple events, a lead is being captured in the CRM system. Then an account manager works on that lead, nurtures that lead. Nurtures that lead means it meets, gives a follow-up, it meeting. And finally, when a lead is converted into an opportunity, that means that lead is now buying your product or a service, it is converted, and then finally the opportunity is converted into the sales order. So that process is happening automatically with the leading CRMs like Salesforce. And India, we have a leading sales CRM called Zoho CRM.
Zoho CRM.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
there is very important another tool in the finance function which we are using is called Blackline order tool. Blackline is a tool which is used for automating your financial year-end reconciliation or a month end. So my audit folks, people here, and the Hrithvik would agree with me that whenever we are supposed to prepare a quarterly financial statement. We need to download multiple GLs and prepare the reconciliation for audit. Like you need to prepare a reconciliation for accounts payable, accounts receivable, revenue reconciliations. There are multiple sort of reconciliations that you need to prepare depending on the business. So Blackline is one tool which help you to prepare the multiple reconciliation and fasten up your reconciliation process. And for payroll, for example, you have tools like ADP, which Hrithvik also mentioned. So ADP is a tool which automatically links with your HR system. HR system is called as HRMS or HRIS, Human Resource Intelligence Solution or Human Resource Management Solution. So tools like Workday, wherein you can manage your entire employee, which is called hire to retire process. You can hire your employees, maintain their critical information, their performance appraisal, and then when the employee exits. So Workday is a tool which is being used in MNCs for hire to retire process. Then we have SAP as a Concur for employee expense management. We have other tools. The tools that I am showing here is may not be applicable for a small and medium or maybe other. This is what I'm saying as a typically large scale MNC or a GCC would use, because GCCs right now in India are typically established by the large players. So we need to be aware what is the ecosystem of the tools or the tech stack that they are being used. We need not to know or start operating each of these tools right now, but having know that the automation tools exist for each of these areas would help us open up our minds and give up the solutions to our clients or to the GCCs in future, that okay, these are the automation tools that exist in each of such area. So that's the objective. Don't take these be daunted by this slide that we need to learn all of these tools. No, not the objective, but the idea is to make you aware that there are different areas in finance wherein the practical automation or the tools are available. Similarly, for audit reporting and SOX control, as Hrithvik said, we have a tool called Audit Board where you can see the audit trail, who approved the particular process, who approved the transaction, you could have that. Then for consolidation purpose, there is a specialized tool called Hyperion, wherein from the standalone trial balance of the individual entities, you can prepare a consolidated financial statements. Then there is a tool which for automatic accounts receivable automation, like when you receive a payment from your debtor, how to apply it automatically to its GL account and close the balance. So that's how Tesorio is a tool. Then we have financial planning for FP&A and reporting. We have a tool called Adaptive Insights, another tool from Workday. So, and for dashboarding and reporting, we have a tools like Tableau and Power BI. So I hope I made my point clear, and that these are the tools which exist in various areas of the finance heat map process that Hrithvik showed. And
Yeah,
now,
Manish, I want to add on one thing here.
yeah,
Like you have seen in the hotel industry and then in the hospital industry,
yeah,
you know, there is one front desk software like Opera or something else. And then at there is one accounting software, maybe that is a Sun accounting system or normal tally something.
yeah,
So have you ever thought of, integrating things? Many of
yeah. So
the
that's
industry, many of the industry I have seen what they do. They whatever the data is collected from the PMS, they do the normal accounting and tally or something else. That takes a hell of time. So that can be operated. That can be uh, something it can be done here to bridge the gap between it. There are a lot of softwares in the market as well.
Yeah, so this is the entire objective. I think the next slide, which I'm going to show, not specific to hotel, but the idea is to integration is there. That if we have multiple bunch of softwares here, the idea is to integrate them. And there are various tools in the market which can help you to integrate these tools. And the tools which we use are API-based tools, which is called API is like automatic downloading of reports from multiple tools, consolidating it in a single template report, and then uploading it into the ready-to-made file. So we can use API-based automation. And there are tools like, I would name a few like Zapier, Make.com. These are tools which integrates between the different apps. And also there are robotic process automation tools like UiPath, Automation Anywhere. These are the two, and even Microsoft has its own free tool called Power Automate. So you can use it like simple example is, for example, let's say I receive an invoice from a supplier on my email ID. The automation would run it and identify that whenever a new invoice is generated or is sent by the vendor on the email ID, it automatically reads the contents of the invoice and it stores the data from that invoice in an Excel file. So that's how the automation is being working. So like API based automation, robotic process based automation, or even AI based automation like tools like Zapier and Make.com are being used. So here I have given an examples of how RPA is being used to drive automation. So more than I think 200, 300 automations I have developed in my previous organization. So that's how we see the scale that the organizations are now working with the automation. And because there are so many tools involved in the finance function, we need to integrate them well so that there is a consolidated and single source of reporting that we can rely upon. Now, this is another example that how the large organizations are using AI. They are using multiple robots and tools so that their quarter close or year end closing time is being reduced from 30-day closing to 5-day closing. So imagine you close your books in just 5 days, which all your process like booking your accruals, forecast, all your controllers packs like investment reconciliation, all this is being done with the help of a bot, and your role would be more or less to review and supervise. So this is how the power of bot is actually being in place to reduce or shorten the financial closure period and to streamline your time to more towards more analytical skill set. Now, what are the expectation of the organization from you as an employee or as a service provider is a digital workforce attitude. They need that, okay, you can work at a large scale of data, okay, and that's the objective, that 50% of the organization, and digital workforce means not the robots actually working in the organization. It means automating more than 50% of your process with the help of the software bots or the automation technology. So digital workforce means that. It doesn't mean that robots working in the floor of the office. It means that the most of your processes is being done by the digital robots or digital AI tools. And that's the expectation that an organization expect, that even if you are not a tech background person, but you should have a framework or a mindset wherein you can develop the logics, you can identify the automation opportunities in every finance person and try.
अपना जो क्या करते हैं तो सारे इकट्ठे, बट मैं कॉर्पोरेट का कंप्लायंस का मैं नहीं देखता हूँ क्योंकि सारा फिर करना मुश्किल होता है। तो मैडम एज ए सीएस को मैं नहीं कोऑर्डिनेट करता हूँ कि आप ही इसको कंप्लीट करिए, जो अपना कॉर्पोरेट का कंप्लायंसेस है या जो भी है तो वही नहीं के ऊपर छोड़ा हुआ है।
कैन यू गो बियॉन्ड म्यूट प्लीज?
एज फार एज जो है ये जीएसटी का बता रहे थे या मान लीजिए ऑडिट का है, तो कुछ फीस वगैरह का ही आप शायद
Rakesh Arora, I think his mic is on. So can somebody tell him to switch off his mic?
Edwin, can you please?
Host can mute them. Host can mute them.
I think we are the co-panelists, but Raj sir would have the name. Okay, I think, okay. Whoever is this, please everyone keep your mics on mute. Okay, so what I'm saying is that the attitude or the expectation of the organization from today's workforce is that the digital workforce attitude, wherein you need to not only, it is not that in the earlier roles that technology is the cup of tea of only engineers and we as a chartered accountant will just work on the balance sheets and the financial statements or the tax. No. So the expectation today of the organization from the modern chartered accountant or a digital chartered accountant is that we should be able to identify the opportunities in the finance processes that have a lot of human intervention and how I can free up my time. So I think we need to understand that the biggest asset in our life is our time, and how we can free up our time and spend our time in a more productive manner and towards more what you want to pursue in the life, not just punching the data and punching this. This is not the objective of your life. That's what the organization wants you to do, to identify the opportunities and also they also want that the AI should be used responsibly in a manner which is ethically there, and with while it's too nascent, because we have been seeing that AI has grown outpaced the governance regulation. India is still in the process of developing the AI regulation, but we are using AI. We don't know at the today that if you are uploading a notice to the chat GPT, what happens to that information. So we need to be very mindful about any information that we are uploading it on the public platform or like chat GPT or a Gemini confidentiality. So compliance and governance concerns or risk, we need to be mindful. When I said people attitude, it's more about the people changing their attitude and identifying the opportunities for automation, even if you are not a tech savvy, but you need to find the business use case. Now here, in couple of next slides, we have identified some of the use cases we have tried to automate or we have developed bot for them in the past, and what are the results you can see. So I will read out some of the use cases and then we'll see a demo video as well, that how we are automating. So procure to pay is a process wherein it involves a lot of work, like if someone has to do the invoice processing manually, it will read the invoice from the email, then it will enter the invoice details into the ERP or the procurement software, and then it has to pay the invoice and then archive the invoice in a folder for audit purpose, and you need to validate all the fields in the invoice. Now with the help of the robot, all these things can be done automatically. Like the robot will extract data from the invoice, and accurately it will extract all the particular using OCR and AI ML based technologies. It will automatically transform pass on the information generated from the invoice to the ERP system. Then it will automatically save the invoice for your archiving purpose, and it will also see that all the purchase order PO rules are being followed. So let's see one demo video if we can.
This is a demo which has been built up by TrueLedger.
Yeah. So using a out of the box automation, which is called Dex tool, we have developed a tool.
Managing bills should not be a manual or a time-consuming task. With Dex and QuickBooks working together, accounting becomes seamless, smart, and effortless. It all starts with uploading your bill to Dex. Whether it's a scanned copy or a photo, Dex uses powerful OCR technology to automatically extract all the essential details from the invoice, and no manual entry is needed. Since our QuickBook account is already integrated with Dex, the invoice is ready to be published directly with just a single click. If the supplier already exists in QuickBooks, Dex links to it, and if not, Dex automatically creates the supplier profile in QuickBooks, saving you the hassle. Once published, all we need to do is refresh our transaction feed in QuickBooks. The bill appears instantly, already classified and marked as unpaid. And just like that, we are ready to move forward with the payment. Everything is accurate, up to date, and in sync. From upload to payment, let automation handle the heavy lifting. And with Dex and QuickBooks, smarter accounting is just a click away.
So you can see again that this is very small example. I would say not a very large scale, but this is developed just for the audience we have, and that how simple automation can also be put in. It need not to be a very large scale automation. It's just an small scale automation that we could deploy to automate your processes like procure to pay. Similarly, for order to cash processes, whenever like a lead is being created or a sales order, you need to manually create a sales order and then pass the entry of the sales order in your accounting system. And then once the sales order is generated, you need to generate an invoice. Then you need to do an e-filing, e-invoicing. And then once the payment is also received, you need to apply the payment, do multiple steps. So all these steps you can automate with the help of a UiPath robot, wherein the bot would itself identify the manual task. You need to give a step. So let me show you how we identify an opportunity. Let's say, so the first step in the opportunity is let's say you determine how the process is being performed manually, which is called as a human step approach, like prepare an Excel file, split the data, check email. What are the steps that you perform? Okay. And then similarly, you can, with the help of the robot tools with UiPath bot, you can mimic the tool or the entire process with the help of the bot. So that's how the today's RPA technology or OCR or AI based technologies, they are able to mimic the action of the human. Like a 30-minute task is now being done at the help of 3 minutes. So reduction of almost 90% of the time effort. So you can do all this with the help of the bot. So there are multiple use cases we have seen, like financial reporting pack, like accruals, soft close, PO closure that we usually see. Bank system is the one area wherein you need to, if you have multiple bank statements, you need to extract certain information, store the information in particular folder. So all these tasks are menial tasks that we can do with the help of the automation. Then I'll try to show you another demo video wherein we can do like dashboard reporting, how with the help of your financial reporting information in your accounting system, how you can create very powerful dashboard with the just of the click. No Excel, no Power BI, just the cloud technology and integration between your AP accounting tool and your app. You can create powerful dashboards.
Which helps you to manage engagements, proposals, and billing effortlessly. Once you integrate your QuickBooks Online account with Ignition, you're ready to streamline your entire sales and billing process. Here you can create a deal to manage client engagement effectively, a well-drafted proposal to send directly to the prospective customer, and finally a bill to invoice your customer for your services. Ignition automatically pulls in customers and services that you've already set up in your QuickBooks account. You just have to select the customer and then the service for which you are going to bill the customer. Ignition autofills the service description and business terms using your preset templates and pricing database. Here you can change the price as per agreement with the customer. Billing time can be manual or automatic, and here we'll select to email this bill directly to our client. Now the billing is complete and Ignition does not stop here. By refreshing our sales feed in QuickBooks, it has automatically created the bill, pulling through all the details from the earlier steps. The interface is clean and easy to use, so getting started feels natural. Ignition makes your complete billing process feel effortless with seamless accounting integration at every step.
So this is one example of how AR process is being processed. I'll just give you a demo of also of the.
So we see that how technology being saving time, it is helping and making our life easy.
Yeah, so I think this is how I could say cover in this limited time how we are using technology tools for automating various processes within our existing client base, and how you can also start base. It need not to start as a big bang process, but small little automations and available already in the market. We can use that and create the automations, and I think this is all from my side, and we
So
thank you
like
everyone.
if you want to sell anything in GCC, then you can sell the technology.
Yeah, that's the mantra, that you need to be tech savvy and global culturally savvy and have a mindset ready to evolve and adapt technology. That would be the our mantra for the day. And with this, we close our deliberation and we can take up some questions. And would request Vineet ji, if he can has any questions, we can read in the Q&A box and we are happy to answer.
Yeah. Now we can ask the questions from the Hrithvik and Manish ji. Please feel free to ask the question.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I have a question that anyone as a CA wants to go into this, like outsourcing or a GCC things, is selecting a niche or selecting any kind of industry is important, because if we enter as a general practice or accounting or a general accounting, it is very difficult to target the clients. So I just want to have your inputs or guidance on this.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, operating as a niche, that is very much beneficial to you, that in that you can showcase what is your product and you can create a niche of it. This will really help you to scale up. And rather than going into like multiple products, these are these things that will, that will not give you much credibility. So I just suggest you that you take a niche of the product, you sustain with it, you do the branding, marketing, and that will leverage you.
So I have one question on this, just the industry or the things that we are talking right now, it is more like a digital transformation or a technology implementation. But if I talk about the industry, like there are many healthcare, real estate. So do you have any guidance on that? Any industries that a CA should enter nowadays, or
So
any
then there's not
tips
any
on that?
specific, but you have to explore the market and think what suits you best. You can go into any market. You can go into hospitality, or you can go into the real estate. But your idea should be clear that what you want to do in that industry. If you want to go into automation, because what I'm talking like, suppose for considering the hotel industry or the hospital industry, if you use the accounting software and the integration part, that would be a different compared to real estate or some other industry.
That's correct. Yes. Thank you.
Hrithvik, Ankit Mahajan ji is asking how to approach GCC or roadmap to reach them. Basically, he want to understand how to build a GCC, the first step to reach GCC, to become a GCC.
Yeah, Manish, you want to answer this?
Sorry, I didn't get that. Can you repeat the question?
मतलब कैसे GCC अगर स्टार्ट करनी है एक सीए को, वो कैसे स्टार्ट करे?
तो देखिए, सीए खुद से जीसीसी तो स्टार्ट नहीं कर सकता, बट सीए खुद से जीसीसी को सर्विस दे सकता है. आई थिंक दैट वुड बी द बेटर वे. एंड आई थिंक इसके लिए आई वुड से I can share my experience from a tax process. Hrithvik can share from a financial reporting process. But I think first point of view is that you need to focus well on very easy language in terms of that nothing is, you need to have a mindset that nothing is complex. We as a chartered accountants already have that mindset that, okay, only things that are complex that would give us the kick of doing working. Like in India, we have complex tax law, TDS law. We should always, as a GCC setup, we should always try to streamline and simplify the things and see, because in a GCC, they don't want to deal with complexity. They want to deal with complexity, but they want the answer in a very clear language and communication. So I think your first step would be how to handle the complex situation, but yet able to articulate your responses in a globally acceptable manner. And by far Europeans and Americans are very they don't like technical jargon, so you need to focus a lot on your technical and cultural aspect. That's one thing. Obviously, I would not be able to comment on what line of service you are taking and what study material or course you should. But of course, some international qualification and course like CPA, ACCA would definitely give you an advantage, because you would have the technical capabilities as well as the global recognition in terms of the mindset of a global service recipient and the MNCs. So that's one thing. And other than, I think start building up genuine relationships over the professional networking forums, attend global events to develop that level of connections. And I think no one can teach anyone how to get work unless somebody gets his hands-on approach. But these are some broad level that cultural mindset, technical skill set, and networking are the keys for you to set up a GCC in India or a GCC service provider becoming in India.
Yeah, I would like to add on that you have to understand like what you have to sell. What
Yeah.
product is that is sellable for you. You develop a product, you do the automation, and you tell, yes, this is the product I have developed, and it will save your time, it will save money, everything that will help you to just give your presence.
Yep. Focus on developing some moat. I would say try to develop some monopoly or some unique skill set
Yeah.
within yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. The next question is there any government incentive for setting up the GCC?
Yeah, I think we covered a bit over there, but we say that
Yeah,
many
Gift
of the
City.
Gift City is like for financial services. If you're setting up your financial services back office, Gujarat is offering a lot of tax incentives under Section 80 LA of the Income Tax Act. Specifically for GCCs, governments are giving a lot of subsidies in terms of like capital expenditure. If you're doing, some portion is being subsidized. Then on the employees that you hire, government is also giving a a PF contribution waiver or some kind of additional contribution that government is doing. So states have formulated their own GCC policies. You can have a look at the policies being framed or draft policies available for state of Gujarat, state of Karnataka, state of
Rajasthan.
UP has as well come. So many states are coming up with the policies to attract the GCC. So there they are offering both financial and non-financial incentives to the GCCs and to the employees of GCCs.
The next question is, are there any consultants who can connect us with the GCC running like 1700 GCCs are there in India, who is currently working? So is there any midman who can connect us with the GCC?
And generally GCs how they want to know a consultant who knows GCCs.
No,
Yeah,
who can
for
connect
the-
us? Connect us with the GCC.
For
That's what-
transformation projects or any providing any services, something like that.
I mean, I'm not sure of any such consultant who would, I mean, you need to reach out to the concerned person or the chief CTO of that GCC if you have a relevant service and that you can want to sell. But I don't know a single person can help you to connect with multiple GCC. There are, you can find on LinkedIn or internet, but I haven't come across, sorry, maybe.
Yes, you can
So
connect
in
with
this, in this, I would just like to add my view. The best way to connect is to find on LinkedIn, maybe people working on the shared services or
Yeah.
the GCCs,
Yeah.
and then see the head positions, whether they're head of any transformation projects or the head of the
Yeah.
GCCs. So they will have the main pain points, the problem areas, and they are ready to kind of understand your services that you can provide and add value
Yeah.
in the organization.
Yeah.
Thanks, Yash.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I think there is a question on the portal. Does Institute have any specific portal for this? Yes, Institute has a portal and there is a site called, in fact, I'm reading it for you. gcc.ici.org is the site where you can have information about the GCCs. Institute has also launched its book GCC Insights, and there is a GCC summit that is happening across country. First summit already concluded in Delhi. There are multiple more lining up in other parts of the country. So yes, Institute is having developing its capabilities and network and framework for the members who want to start their base in GCC market. So yes, ICI has a specific page, gcc.ici.org.
There is another portal now which is running by the institute, apo.ici.org.
Which one?
APO.
WTO one, the Directorate of Internet.
APO. Let me open my notes.
But
Okay.
that portal is not functioning properly because we had submitted a request almost 3-4 months back and we have still not got the approval. So I believe that portal is not functioning properly.
Okay. Because when I have attended the GCC summit now, so they are one of the person has suggested that apo.ici.org.
Yeah.
There is a portal.
You're
Yeah,
right,
but it's
Vineet
not
ji.
working. Yeah, but it's
I
not
think
working. I
maybe
believe.
they have the portal is working, but I don't know. There is now a Directorate for International Trade Services. I think it's submerged under there. Sorry, I may not be very well aware of the ICS portal. But
Even I had sent a mail also. So, but I'm yet to receive any response from them. So if anyone knows any connects or the secretary or, the committee for that, I would be happy to connect with them.
And one more thing, Ankit, if you can open your camera, so we will be
Yeah.
happy to see you as well.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, I was just, hello.
Yeah, hi. क्योंकि आपने सबसे ज्यादा इंटरेक्टिव काफी रखा है सेशन, तो इसलिए दैट्स व्हाई we are eager to see you.
So there is another question. Generally, GCC hired consultants, either Big Four or other big management consulting firms. How do we pitch ourselves to big companies? Now, mid-size setting up offices in India. So that I already discussed. That how you can uh, come as act as a bridge between the GCC and the big firms, like by creating your own validation products, like automation. You can go into automation or some products like in accounting automation, you can do it, and that you can create a niche of the product by which you can sustain your products. You can showcase what is your product and just
And I think you
get the
should
clients.
collaborate with each other, not portray yourself as a standalone firm. I think जमाना आज के टाइम पे मर्जर का और कोलैबोरेशन का है. IC has also opened the gates, and I think our endeavor is also to network within ourselves, strengthen our capabilities across the domain, get all the different firms within umbrella and portray yourself and pitch as a one strong single firm instead of solo approach. So I think that's also very relevant. You should leverage upon your network, portray yourself as a one single service provider by leveraging the capabilities of different partners and different firms, and then pitch to the big four like big fours do. They offer all the services under one single roof. So that's how you need to leverage your network and capabilities and pitch as a one strong firm instead of a fragmented approach. So any more question?
So I just
This is
wanted
good
to
time.
ask one thing related to it's a kind of a personalized query. Is that I am working in an organization wherein we have a shared services come GCC model for all the India businesses. So how do we handle change management for the people working there in terms of automation, in terms of process improvement? Because we have around 130 to 140 people working for accounts payable, accounts receivable, general ledger and all that. But I find it sometimes difficult for the people to understand that change management and to work in automation or process improvement, because they are like, we are working, we are doing the same thing for last 8 years, 10 years, and they are not ready to change. How do we handle that?
So the question is, so the answer is you need to, there should be a clear-cut communication on why there is a need to change. If you can answer that, because I'm, so I'm a global process owner for the record to report in one of the GCC in Bangalore, right? And my role is to run transformation projects here in this company. So I think the very clear-cut communication why we want to do this, that has to be communicated. That's one. Two is you need to involve them, and there has to be a top-down, approach. You need to convince that top level management, and then the communication is pretty much important with the answer why we want to do that. So I think there are multiple things actually, multiple factors to involve, like controls, compliance part, the transformation, what are the benefits you are going to get out of that. So there is a change management team which we have who are basically communicating with those stakeholders, with their team, etc., to send the regular communication. Involvement of them is very, very important.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Any other question? I think so. There is no further question on this topic. So we would just want to thank Hrithvik and Manish Aggarwal ji. Thank you very, very much for this enlightened session. Thank you once again. Rasa maybe may want to add something.
Thank you, Vineet Bhai, and I especially thanks to all the participants who have actively participated in this interactive webinar on GCC. So thank you, friends, for joining this our webinar and making this a successful one. This video will be sent to you very shortly through your email ID as well as on your WhatsApp number. So thanks, Vineet Bhai, our faculties, Manish ji and Hrithvik ji. And thank you all for joining. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you.
you. See
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
Thank you.